Hello, hello to all of my Gems family. I hope you all are doing absolutely amazing on this wonderful Tuesday. I really appreciate every single one of you for supporting me, for supporting this channel. It really does mean absolutely everything to me to have your support. So today we're going to be talking about getting things done, getting it done. How do we get it done? And it's a lot of things that we can do. And it's important that we understand it's not just about wanting to. That's a nice thing, a nice thought, wanting to do things, but we need more than just wanting to do something. We have to have a plan, and you know already, if we don't have a plan, we've already planned to fail. So we do have to have that plan in place and we have to go for it. Go for it and do all of the things that we need to do. But at the same time, we're going to talk about 9 things that we can do in order for us to be able to be successful at whatever it is that we're doing. And I want to put up some of these points. I want to say welcome to everybody who is here. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate every single one of you. So let's get into it. How can we get things accomplished, everybody? Do you have any thoughts, any opinions on this? How can we get some things done? Let me know what you think in the chat. I would really love to hear from every single one of you. How can we get things accomplished? Let me know what you guys think. For me, I think that it's important for us to get things accomplished and not just talking about things, because that's where a lot of people they mess up right there. They just talk about a plan, but they never do anything to shift the plan into success. And success can't happen unless you allow yourself to be able to follow through and be consistent and do what you need to do. Consistency is so important in accomplishing your task. You have to be consistent. You can't just do things sporadically and expect to win and be successful at things. And I've learned that because, like I've said before, I am most definitely a reformed procrastinator. And sometimes I backslide a little bit, but for the most part, I know that being consistent is how you get things accomplished. It doesn't matter what it is in life, whether it's taking care of your daily household responsibilities, whether it's work or your business, getting your exercise, going to the gym, walking, whatever you do to maintain a healthy weight and mindset. But everything in this life is about consistency. So let's get into these 9 points about how we can get things accomplished. The number one thing, everybody, is making sure that we're doing everything that is necessary for us. You got to do everything necessary for you so that you can be your best and you can be happy, because that's what's important. Hi, Jace. How are you doing? Welcome. So, that I think that's something that's very important, that we have to research your plans. Is this something that I actually want to do? Is this something that is good for me? Is this something that's going to be positive, and all of that stuff? So first, research, and it means looking things up. Okay, say if something for your business, is this going to be profitable? Is this worth my time, my effort, and my energy? If you, whether you're going to school, whether you're starting a business, continuing your business, you got to research, is this something good? Am I going to benefit from what I'm about to do? That's the reason why it's important to do these things beforehand, because I don't want you guys to fall flat on your face. I can say this because when I first started my business, I didn't have a plan. I just got out there and did whatever, flying by the seat of my pants, just trying and doing something. But after getting a coach, after getting a mentor, it really helped me to research. Hi, Luciana. How are you doing? Welcome. Happy Tuesday to you. It really helped me to be able to find out, is this something I even want to do or should do? Am I following other people, or am I doing something that's within my talents and my gifts, something that's within my purpose, and making sure that we're doing things that fulfill us, that is within our personality. It's so important in getting things accomplished. So make sure you do your research and find out if this is something you actually want to do. And let's get into point number two. You got to have a plan. What is your plan of success? And I mean everything. Talking about, okay, what am I going to do? Whatever I'm going to do, how long is it going to take? What is it going to cost? Having a plan in place is the monumental for being successful at whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, whether it's business, whether it's social media, whatever. You have to have a plan. And of course, we know the saying, he who fails to plan has already failed, because you got to have a way. How am I going to navigate this? When am I going to do this? How much is it going to cost? How much time is it going to take me to get to where I want to go? And I think that's so important. It's essential that we know a plan, that we know what we're doing, and we're not just spinning our wheels, wasting our time. So get your plan together. And I always talk about plans being reasonable and attainable for you, not what another person's reasonable and attainable, but you got to know how much time you can invest in things, what you can afford, how are you going to accomplish it, how long is it going to take. You got to know all of the ins and the outs before you even get started, so you don't start something and then in the middle of it you find out that I can't afford it, I can't, this is taking away too much time from me, or this is too stressful. A plan is so important. Hi, Kayla. Uh, So that's something that's important, and that helped me a lot. How we can get things accomplished in this life is getting a plan. Number three is that we have to be confident. And me being a person from where I came from, not having supportive people around me, not having supportive relatives, I'm telling you, support is everything. So we can't expect everybody to support our hopes and our dreams and things that we want to accomplish, but you have to have that inside of yourself. You got to be firm in your resolve. You got to know what you're trying to do. Is this good for me? And how am I going to accomplish it? That's so important. You got to be confident and know what you're doing. Believe in yourself, because especially if it comes to business or social media, you can't let other people control what you think about yourself. And I see people all over this app and other social media sites that allow the negativity, the drama, the trolls, the whoever to get to them. And you can't. You can't let people on the outside determine what you want to do, how you feel. Don't let anybody stop your purpose and your mission in this life. You can't. And that applies for me across all things, in my personal, with my family, with my friends, and all my relationships, with my social media, with my business, with so much things I'm trying to do in my life. I have to be confident in me. And other people may not be confident in you. That is the thing. So much people don't know anything about being confident. They're only confident when they get support, or when they get likes, or when things start working monetarily, right? Like financial gains. But what about when in the beginning? Everybody has to start from somewhere, but start and at least give it your best effort, give it your best try. But you got to be confident. And if you don't believe in your message and what you're trying to do, you're not going to gain the growth. the success, the empowerment, the elevation, because it comes with time. The more that you do things, the more that you stay consistent, is the more you're going to grow, you're going to be happy, you're going to be confident, and whatever your business that you're doing is going to succeed because you believe in it. And it means that you're going to do all the work that's involved in winning. Number 4, you got to have a plan in place. And I talked about it a little bit about having a plan, but this is the part where you've got all the kinks out of it. You've made it like, this is my schedule. I'm going to do this day, and this day. This is how much time I'm going to put into it. This is how much it's going to cost me. You've worked out a system, and it's so important to put a plan in place and not just being sporadic or doing things when you feel like it. And I have to tell you guys, hi Nancy, how are you doing? Happy Tuesday to you. I have to tell you guys that if it wasn't for me learning from my wonderful mentor about having a plan and being consistent, I started off with my mentor helping me to work on my social media, but it has spilled over into all parts of my life. If you don't have a plan with anything in place, a consistent plan that's not just sporadic, it's not just when you feel like it, because if you're only doing things when you're in the mood to, or when you feel you have time, it's not going to work that way. Even if you can only give 5 minutes to something, but it has to be a consistent thing. Just like when it comes to your fitness, just like when it comes to your business, everything in this life, your loved ones, you have to be consistent in the time you put into it, because you cannot gain quality in this life. You can't achieve success without having that plan, spending time doing it. It's in the work, and it takes work. Okay. So putting a plan in place, what day, what time, how long will it take me? What will it cost? Who's going to assist me? And all of those things, having that plan in place. And then this is the most important thing about getting things accomplished in this life, is that you gotta get into action. You have to get into action. It's one thing that, yes, it's wonderful to say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to start, get excited about your plan, being confident. All of that is important. That's building the momentum. But then it's time for you to get out there. Hi, Elsa. How are you doing? Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Yes, Nancy, it does. It takes so much work. It takes a lot of work, and it can be very frustrating for so many people. Very frustrating when you want things to be happening, right? And it's just not coming how you want to. And I want to give some encouragement to anybody who is doing something with it, whether it's business, it's education, it's your life's work, it's your mission, it's whatever it is that you're doing. It's going to take time. And in that action plan, you have to learn patience. And I can tell you guys that these tools, these tips that I'm sharing, it spills off into every part of your life, whether you're in school, it's going to help you. Whether you have a business, it's going to help you. Whether it's your relationships with platonic, romantic, all relationships, being a good entrepreneur, having good business sense, all of that applies to taking action. You can't just sit on the sidelines. You can't just do things when you want to. You can't listen to what other people say about you. That is the part where it's important for us to be confident, to believe in ourselves, and learning to be patient. Being patient is one of the hardest things in all aspects of life. It's very difficult to be patient because we want what we want when we want it. We don't want to wait. We don't want to listen to other people. We're just ready for it. But being patient teaches us a lot of things. It teaches us that we need to learn things, that we need to work on qualities of our personality. We need to mature, and also paying attention to how other people treat us in that you realize who are the people who are really there for you and who are the people who really aren't. Okay, so take that action. Number 6. Yeah, we're on 6. How can we get things accomplished, everybody? And for me, I know that I had to learn how to rework the plan, because maybe in the beginning you had this plan, you had these dreams, you have these goals about what you want. And what if it's not working? That's not a time to give up, to throw in the towel, to get discouraged, to doubt yourself, maybe say it's not working. No, don't give up on your plans. Don't give up on your goals, on all your hard work. Rework the plan. Maybe putting in a little bit less time so that you don't get burned out. Maybe asking for some mentorship, some coaching, some support, because that's so important for making our plan continue on. Because if you keep putting all your irons in the fire, if you put in all your energy, all your time into everything, we still have to be balanced. You still have to have time for yourself, your loved ones. Everything is about balance, it's about discipline, it's about consistency, and not judging yourself based on who you were years ago. Well, I used to be able to do that. It's about who you are today and giving yourself the permission to be who you are today with the tools, with your financial situation, and then just doing your best. Yeah, that's right, Nancy. You got to keep pushing. I say that to everybody, whether it's social media, whether it's your business, whether it's any relationship that you have, anything that's important for you, you have to be consistent. You have to be patient. You have to spend time with it. You can't just think it's just going to happen overnight. Every good thing that happens, everything that leads to success in life, it's going to take time, effort, energy, and reworking the plan. It may not work out the first time, but don't give up. Rework the plan and get back to it. And this one is one of my favorites in how I get things accomplished, because if many of you don't know, I have 5 YouTube channels. I also have 2 other social media sites that I'm on, Instagram and TikTok. Plus, I am running 2 businesses and I work part time. And I could never do any of that without having a consistent schedule. And I have to have things in place. I have to really be on point when it comes to time management. I'm telling you guys that time management is key to everything. You have to schedule your time and you got to keep your word and do what you're supposed to. If you only have 15 minutes for something, it's okay. You don't have to get everything done. You have 1 or 2 plans, maybe up to 3 things that you're trying to accomplish for that day. If you do all 3 of those things, maybe add 1 more thing, but don't overwhelm yourself. Don't stress yourself out. Don't try to push and force things so that you burn out very quickly. Take your time. Make sure you're doing things right. And when you do things right, you don't have to go back and redo things over and over again. I think that's so important. So, number 7 is get support. Everybody needs support. Everybody needs support. There's nobody, no matter what you're doing in this life, everybody needs support. Everybody needs encouragement, maybe a listening ear, maybe some feedback, asking some questions, and not just support from anybody. I mean, getting support from people who have in the past supported you, the ones that have been there. And if you don't have those people around, it's okay to seek support elsewhere. I have had people that have poured into me that are strangers. Like I've had people embrace me on social media and been like sisters, mothers, grandmother, uncle, a brother, a friend. People have been showed me so much love on social media, but you do have to be careful about who you trust, what you tell to other people, because not all the time people are who they say they are. So, take your time and see how people show up for you. See how people, they say they support you, they say they're there for you. Just sit back and wait and see if they really are who they say they are. I think that's so important. You got to see if people are the truth, if they're real, or are they fake. Okay. Now we got two more points and then we're going to get out of here. Now, this one is very important, and a lot of people do not do this. If you do not celebrate your wins, you're going to get very discouraged. And I used to be that sort of person, like not thinking, oh, that's not a big deal. A win is a win, everybody. Whatever it is that you've won, maybe you've accomplished a weight loss goal, like myself recently. You should celebrate that, you know? And even something as simple as saying, I'm so proud of myself. I'm doing a good job. You've got to empower yourself and you got to encourage yourself. Be your own cheerleader, and that's how you get things done. If you always feel like you're never doing enough, you're going to burn out fast. You have to do hard work, then you have to celebrate yourself, and then you repeat it. You do hard work, you celebrate yourself, and that's how you keep chugging along. That's how you keep going and moving forward. You got to celebrate yourself. And I have to tell you, you don't know how big it is for you to be able to say, I'm proud of myself. Don't be embarrassed, and it's not showing off. Hey, Latanya, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Happy Tuesday. And you have to celebrate your wins. It doesn't matter what it is, everybody. If you were maybe a person who was a reformed person with a lot of anger issues, and maybe something came up and you wanted to go off and you didn't, you should celebrate that. I'm proud of myself. And then ask yourself, how did I accomplish that? So that you can repeat the positive behavior. And then when maybe you don't react the best way, okay, what did I do that was not the best? And how can I avoid that later? Those are the ways that you win and you succeed in this life, is you learn what is working and you learn what is not working. I'm so glad you're good, Latanya. Yeah, and that's the part of this life, is that you got to learn what is working and you got to learn what's not. Not everything is supposed to work out. You know, it helps us to work on ourselves, being better versions of ourselves, being better, mature, healthy, healed, positive, consistent, being a quality woman or man. It takes work, it takes energy, it takes time, and most importantly, it takes maturity. Okay, be mature enough to realize when it's time to cut your losses and when it's time to ask for help and get some support. Okay. So here we are, everybody, on the last point. And I think that this is really important. This is what ties this whole topic up together. How can we get things accomplished? How can you get things accomplished in this life? And it really goes back to that reset. We get things accomplished by resetting. Okay. And this is the time where you're doing that evaluation. What worked and what didn't? And everything is about positive self-talk. And I learned something recently to not beat myself up when I do something right, then I crushed it. And when you didn't, it doesn't mean you failed. Didn't mean you lost. It means that you're learning. You see how that's two different mindsets. That's a different set of energy. That's negative energy when you say, I failed, I lost, I messed up. We're going to shift that. That's a mindset shift. We're going to take that negative energy and turn it positive and say, I'm learning. I'm learning, not losing. And I'm telling you, that does everything for you. And that's the important part of getting things done and getting things accomplished, is letting yourself get over things, not beating up yourself, not judging yourself. You did the best that you could in the situation with your knowledge. And the most important thing is this right here. Anything that you're trying to accomplish in this life, you have to give yourself the permission to learn from it so that you don't keep repeating the same toxic behaviors. Hey, creative girl, how are you doing? Welcome. Yes, Latanya. Yes, I'm learning. And I used to always be like, oh, I messed up. I lost. I failed. You see how that can bring you down. It can break down your self-esteem, break down your confidence, break down your wanting to, your desire to do anything. You just like, oh, why even try? I'm always gonna mess up. I'm always gonna fail. You see how it's a different mindset, a different energy that you show up with when you say, I learned. See, you're learning, not losing. And I love that for me. And I love that for all of my GEMS family too, is that you haven't lost, you haven't failed. You're just learning, you're growing, you're healing, you're elevating, you're growing. See, and that is definitely a part of the growth mindset, giving yourself that permission to say, I'm human and I don't always do the best thing. I don't always do the right thing, but I'm doing the best that I can. And when you have that mindset, I'm doing the best that I can, I'm proud of me, I'm growing, I'm learning. Yeah, that's how you get excited and you get right back into step number one about researching and going through all of the steps that we mentioned earlier. But you got to give yourself the permission to reset. Whatever was not working out, whatever it is that was not good, you take those things off your plan and then you reset it. And that's the time where you get your rest. You're going to say, okay, what did I do good? What could I do better? Should I put more time into it? Am I not putting enough time? Am I putting too much time? Reworking the plan and resetting. And this is a good time because it gives you time to really look at it with not in your emotions. Don't get in your emotions. Don't let the outside, don't let other people with their judgments. No, remove yourself from all of that and give yourself the permission to look at it, take off those rose colored glasses and say, what could I improve? How can I do better? And then you go back into that same thing, starting with the research. Okay, how can I do better? Where did my plan fall apart? Because I didn't ask for help. Did you fail to ask for help? Did you do too much and you got burnt out and then you had to stop because you were exhausted? So those are some of the things that is so important for us to learn. The lessons in this life is we still have to do things, but we got to be consistent, persistent, and we have to be reasonable so that we don't burn out, because you still need to spend time with loved ones. You still need to have leisure time, time for you to laugh. You got to have time for you to rest. You got to have time for your spirituality, whatever is your belief system. You got to have time for everything under the sun. Because if you don't, no plan is going to be successful if it's pure stress, aggravation, and you doubt yourself. So be encouraged, everybody. I wanted to say that to everybody, to be encouraged. Whatever plans you have in this life, whatever goals, whatever it is that you're trying to get to and reach for, you can do it. You can do it. There's nothing that you can't do. See, but remember, with point number 3 was talking about being confident. But you got to be confident in yourself. Okay, it didn't work out. But then that's where the honesty comes in. What didn't I do? Did I fail to ask for help and support? Did I not have a good plan? Was I not consistent? Did I not plan for things? Or whatever it is. And that's how you reset and you get yourself right back on the horse. You get yourself right back into it after a rest, a reset, a new plan, and a mindset shift. And this is when you say, I give myself the permission to make mistakes. I give myself the permission to be human. I will be patient with myself. What is meant to be for me will be for me, and nothing can stop it. Yes, I'm telling you guys, it's the truth. And that is the only way that I could be running my two businesses, and everything that I do is I give myself the permission to learn. I'm not losing. I give myself the permission to learn and to make mistakes, and then learn where were the flaws? What didn't I do? What did I allow? Was I unreasonable? Did I see the signs and ignore them? So it's all those things that help us to grow, to heal, to mature, so that we can get to where we want to get to. But you got to be real. You got to be honest. You can't be fake. You got to be real. Okay, I've been dropping the ball. I have not been doing what I need to do. And then give yourself the permission to say, but it's okay, because today is a new day. And today I can accomplish anything that I want to. So I forgive myself for where I fell short. I forgive myself when I wasn't consistent. But today I'm going to be consistent. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this for 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever minutes. And then when you do it, that's when you give yourself a high five and say, you did that. I'm so proud of myself. I did a great job. And then you get your rest, and you start right back in on your next plan. See, when you do those things, you encourage yourself. You can't wait for other people to encourage you. You have to encourage yourself. It's nobody else's job to be there for you. It's nobody else's job to be your cheerleader. You have to be your own cheerleader. And you got to be consistent for you, because you love yourself. See, and when you love yourself, you'll do whatever it takes for you to be happy and to have peace. Okay? Yes. Thank you. And yes, we can. Yes, yes, you can. Yes, Nancy. Yes, Latanya. You can do anything that you want to do. And let's see. And Latanya says, failing, failing makes us better sometimes. Yeah, but we're not failures though, Latanya. We don't fail. We're learning. We're not losing. We're learning. We never fail at anything. We're just learning. It's a completely different mindset shift when you say you're learning than when you say you're failing. We never fail. We're learning. We're growing. We're elevating. We're prospering. We're making a shift, and we're healing. You got to speak positive pronouncements over your life. And if you don't speak over your life, you're not going to be encouraged. You're not going to get to the next step, the next elevation, the next growth, the next part in your path of where you're supposed to be. You can do it, everybody. I believe in you, but you got to believe in yourself. Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay, Latanya. No problem. I just want to encourage everybody to make a mindset shift, and to encourage yourself to be patient with yourself and pour that love into yourself. Know that you're enough today, tomorrow, and forever. You were called for a reason and a purpose. And whatever that purpose is, whatever your mission is, go for it. And keep working on that plan until you actually get where you want to go. Okay? I appreciate every single one of you that was here. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new here to Life with Marlene, I am your Florida blogger, your motivator, your life coach, motivational speaker, positive mindset shifter, all of those things. I appreciate you for tuning in. If you have not hit the like on the way in, please hit the like on the way out, and leave me a comment if you're watching in the replay. I just want to encourage somebody today with this message. Know that you're enough. Know that if there's anything that you want to accomplish, you can do it. There's nothing to it but to do it. Okay? And forgive yourself. And then try it all over again. Make sure you get yourself some support, yourself a mentor, accountability partner, but you got to put in the work, be consistent, and before you know it, you will be to your level of success. That goal will be accomplished, and it's time to move on to the next one. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody, for your support. Keep your head up, be positive, and be your best. I'll see you guys on the next one. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, and I will see you all later on the premiere. I think my premiere is at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the Friends Watch Party. I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye, everybody.